airplane, Cessna 210 Centurion turbo.
How long's it been sitting here?
They're saying 3 years, but we'll take a look at the logbook, see what's actually going on in there. Engine number 2. So
Is it the last
a
annual?
little bit more than 3 years. The last entry was in 2009. So that's like 14 years almost.
Hey guys, all right, it's Max back here at the Flight Academy in Van Nuys, California. So I just got off the phone with Mo. Apparently, he found a Cessna 210 for just like a rock bottom price. And it's been sitting here at the Van Nuys airport for a while. So it's a bit of a project plane. But anyway, we're gonna go over and look at it. And the other thing is, I know Mo and Sam, the brothers, right? They're having a bit of a disagreement about whether or not they should get this plane, but I got a feeling it's such a low price that they're not gonna be able to resist. Anyway, let's check this out here. So we're gonna go just take a look at the plane, see what kind of condition it's in, and Mo's gonna tell us about the deal he got on it and all that stuff. But of course, real quick guys, if you enjoy videos like this, all kinds of aviation stuff, and you have not already subscribed, please consider subscribing right now. Okay. So I'm gonna follow him over here. It's parked at the Skid Row parking here at Van Nuys, and we'll check it out.
There she is.
That's it?
What do you think? Airplane, Cessna 210 Centurion turbo.
How long's it been sitting here?
They're saying 3 years, but we'll take a look at the logbook, see what's actually going on in there. The Cessna 210 is every Cessna pilot's dream, you know? I've been looking at it sitting over here for a while, and Peter, the tower controller, he knows someone who knows someone who knows someone who owns it, basically. And I was able to get in contact with him. Sent him an offer 6 months ago. He surprisingly accepted the low offer, and I backed out of it. We were so busy, we had so much going on. And then last month I reached back out to him and lowballed him so bad. And guess what? He accepted my offer. Yeah. So I was surprised, and immediately jumped on the occasion. Told him, okay, let's get this stuff done. You know, just wanted to sign the agreement.
And now you have the hangar space too.
Now we have the hangar space because you got your sheep out to Wyman. So it's a win-win situation, you know. Everything turned out great. But the thing is that it's been sitting for a while. It needs a lot of work to get it back to airworthy. But guess how much I paid for it? You ready to know or not yet?
Yeah, I want to know how much. How much?
Everyone knows already.
So, well, first of all, if this was new and flying, what's this plane worth?
Not brand new, but it was in a flying condition, airworthy condition.
Right. Good shape.
120, 130,000, you know, depending on the hours and whatnot. Yeah. I paid, and get ready for this, $3,000 bucks.
$3,000? What? What? Yes. That's insane. That's insane.
Isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, so cha-ching!
Okay, well, it's still got, the tires still have air.
Yeah,
mostly.
The guy who's been taking care of it has been, you know, keeping the tires inflated, at least it looks like.
It just needs a little wash.
Yeah, it needs a wash, and you know, the thing is that, this is what's going on over here. But this is why, you see all these dimples?
Yeah, yeah, okay, so this is the deal here.
Yep, because it has corrosion, so the Cessna 210, the 1960s, they came out of the factory and they had the headliner glued in with a corrosive glue. Okay. So 10 years later, they determined that, okay, this glue is very corrosive, so we have to inspect the wing spar, because this airplane, as you can see, it has no struts, which makes it very sleek, less draggy and fast.
Yeah, but a big spar.
Very big, beefy spar over here, which literally holds the wings and the airplane together.
Right.
So any little minor damage in this thing can have very serious consequences. So that's why Cessna came out with an airworthiness directive. They said, hey, everyone who owns these Cessna 210s has to clean up the corrosion, the surface corrosion, and then you have to take measurements of these dimples after you take the surface corrosion off and send the data to Cessna. Okay. After the owner did that, Cessna said the wing spar is unairworthy. Sure. Okay. Basically, and it basically needs a new wing spar. The wing spar are available on eBay in really good condition, good shape for $10,000. So between $10,000 and $15,000, but it'll cost at least $30,000 in labor.
Right. Big job.
Yeah, it is a very big job. You have to literally disassemble, and we're talking about thousands of rivets holding the thing together, you know?
Right. Jeez.
So that's where we're at right now.
Okay.
I just signed. Here's the agreement. He should have signed it for me over here. So we'll take a look at the purchase agreement, see if everything's good. And then, yeah, there she is. Aircraft purchase sales agreement.
Well, congratulations.
Yep. Thank you. And here's the, yeah, looks good to me. I see.
Original owner's manual down here.
Looks good.
Well, yeah, I mean, I you know, obviously, like you were saying, if you could part it out, fine. But at the same time, it would be so cool to get it in the air again.
Oh, yeah.
Get it flying
exactly.
again. Because I mean, what a disappointment to have an amazing, you know, a cool airplane like this, especially with all the panel upgrades and everything, and then have it be like, oh, wing spar, boom, you know, can't fly it anymore. So
to
get it back in the air would be fantastic.
It sure would. It sure would. Look at the avionics.
Yeah.
Look,
holy smokes.
It has an Aspen Evolution. This thing alone. Whoa.
Just needs a little grease. That's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Let me turn the master on. Look, it has an autopilot, it has a GTX 330 transponder, JPI full engine data monitor. It has the IFD 540. This alone is $15,000.
Yeah.
You believe this crap?
Yeah.
Like, even if I part it and sell it for parts, you know, I can get at least, what, 50,000?
Cheers.
Yeah. I mean, this has been, everything's been torn off to do the annual inspection, which has not been finished, you know?
Right. So it's been sitting about 3 years, you think?
That's what he's saying. These are all the logbooks, so I really have to dig into them and see what we have, you know, what we really have. This is the engine logbook. Let's see what the engine logbook says, really. Engine number 2. So
is it the last annual?
A little bit more than 3 years. The last entry was in 2009. So that's like 14 years almost.
Yeah.
In 2010, the engine was removed, so about 14 years ago.
Okay. It does have the engine though.
Yeah.
Is there anything in there?
Yeah, there's oil.
Yeah.
I was gonna check the oil, but it's not dirty.
So what's the next step? Right, you want to get it over to the hangar, right?
So first things first, I'm gonna get our guys come here, do a quick oil change, maybe fill the nose strut up.
Pump up the tire, probably, right?
Pump up
that
the
nose
tire, refill the battery, and I'm not gonna start before we put some new oil in it.
Okay.
And then we'll taxi it to the hangar, and obviously I'm gonna get it clean, nice and clean, so we can, you know, work on a clean airplane at least.
Yeah.
And once we get it to the hangar, we'll assess everything. Yeah. And on the way taxiing over there, we'll check, you know, the alternators, we'll check the fuel pumps, everything. Nice. Came with sunglasses too, huh? Yeah, and then according to the assessment, we'll figure out what we're gonna do with the engine. Compressions are good. If it's not burning oil, we'll just leave it as is. But the biggest main repair is the spar.
Right. Yeah.
So I have to make sure that the wing spar is good before we get it going, and then once we get a quote to repair it, then we'll be better able to assess if we're gonna actually repair it or if we're gonna just part it out.
Right. So, according to the logbooks, I mean, maybe there's other paperwork or something, but according to the logbooks, it was 2009.
2009 was the last entry in the annual.
So let's say theoretically last time he flew it was 2010. So let's say 13, 14 years ago. So how long in 13 years of tie-down space. I wonder how much money he spent.
Serious?
13 years of tie-down
He spent
space.
$200
$200 a month.
14 years times 12 times 200. $33,000.
Yeah, so $33,000 just to let it sit here. So
Dang.
no wonder he wants to get rid of
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
He's like, just get
Just
this
take
thing
it.
out of my face.
Yeah, yeah. The rear window is interesting. We must have changed that later times. Little hanger rash here. No big deal. Get new wingtips. Okay guys, it's supposed to be a short video, but it's actually 6 months later, and Mo's got an update for us on the 210. Let's see what happened here. Oh, no airplane here. Hey Mo!
Hey Max, how's it going?
Great man, how about you?
Good to see you.
Okay, so you've got an update on the 210 for us. What happened with that plane? It's not here.
So obviously, you see the 210 is not here anymore. This is all that's left from it. So we parted all the airplane out. We sold the airframe, the engine, the propeller. We sold most of the avionics. We sold the engine and data monitor. We sold the GPSs, both GPS units. We got them. We sold them, and we also got this 430 watts in exchange for trade-in when we sold the IFD 440.
So why, you know, the original thing was like maybe you're going to fix it up and repair it, or part it out, right?
Yeah.
So what, like, why did you part it out?
So since the beginning, from before we even bought the airplane, our plan was either to part it out for parts and make some quick profit, or to fix the airplane and get it airworthy and get it flying again. After doing some math, we eventually decided that the airplane would take a lot of time, work, and effort to get back into flying condition. And since some of the logbooks were discovered to be missing, we decided to just chop it up and sell it for parts, especially that these parts are in very high demand and there's a better market for the Cessna 210 parts. I think we thought it would be way more feasible than getting the airplane back up in the air and, you know, put in the work and time and effort and energy to fix it.
So you said something about the logbooks, right? So originally we thought that the plane hadn't moved or done anything in what, like 10 years or something, but turned out there was a missing logbook.
Yes.
Right?
So eventually we noticed that there was a missing, last airplane logbook was missing, which hid the last 10 years of the airplane's history. So we have no idea, even though we had a lot of receipts, a lot of work orders done on the airplane, so we know the airplane was flying during that time.
Okay.
We had no actual maintenance logbooks to document all that stuff. So since, you know, the logbooks were missing, we also, you know, it wasn't worth to fix the airplane and get it back up in the air with a big chunk of its history missing, really.
Okay, so talking about prices, so what, how much did you end up making on this? Because you got, you know, crazy good deal.
We got really good deals on all our avionics. We were able to sell them mostly on eBay. And we sold the airframe, engine, and prop to a gentleman down in Florida who restores and rebuilds these airplanes. So the airframe, the engine, and the propeller are going to be perfect for him for donors and other 210s, really. But we made a little over $55,000 just flipping the airplane and just, you know, disassembling it, selling it for parts.
Wow.
And less than a course of a month, almost, really.
Wow. And so what, it was the airframe was how much you sold that for?
The airframe went for, the airframe, engine, and prop went for $25,000.
Okay.
$25,000. We got almost $22,000 for both GPSs, the IFD 440 and the IFD 540. We made another $4,500 for the Aspen PFDs, MFDs. We just sold the Sandy backup attitude indicator for $1,200. And yeah, all in all, it came up to almost $57,700.
And then you still have some parts here.
Yeah, we still have the audio panel, the PS Engineering audio panel that we still have to sell, which is around $1,000 maybe. The Garmin GTX 330 ES, this is also another 4 grand, 3-4 grand maybe. And the Garmin 430 West that we got in exchange for when we sold the IFD 440, which is another maybe 5 grand. So, and the turn coordinator, the electric turn coordinator, we still have to. We're probably gonna use that one in one of our airplanes.
Okay.
But yeah, I say we came up pretty good.
You could potentially have another 10 grand here in selling this stuff.
At least between the transponder, the 430, the audio panel, and the turn coordinator, that's another 10 grand easy.
Wow, wow. Okay. Okay guys, that's pretty much it for this video. I think it worked out pretty good in the end, and it's just kind of mind-blowing how even an airplane that's really, you know, not going to be flying is still worth a ton of money just in parts alone. But guys, if you like videos like this, airplane stuff, flight training, all of that, and you have not already subscribed to the Flight Academy channel here on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe right now. And thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Stay tuned for the next video. See you then.